The future of Du Bois County's Catholic school system is now clearer. More from today's big announcement. Plus, sentencing has now been handed down in a major Du Bois County drug raid. And Tara Hope and Ed Ubelor talk voices of Schnellville tonight on Inform. All of that and much more is up next here on the 18 WJTS News. Hello, I'm Bradford Raths. We begin tonight with tragedy as a Perry County woman lost her life in a three-car accident north of Ferdinand yesterday. Just after 3 o'clock yesterday afternoon, Indiana State Police say 23-year-old Brandon Chamberlain of Huntingburg was northbound along State Road 162 when he went left of center for an unknown reason. Chamberlain then hit a car driven by 60-year-old Donna Marie Evans of Cannelton. The impact of that crash sent Evans's car backwards and off of the east side of the roadway. State police say Chamberlain's truck then kept going north and Chamberlain could not keep control. From the impact of the collision, an ATV in the back of Chamberlain's truck went up in the air before bouncing through the windshield and roof line of a third vehicle driven by 58-year-old Donna Trafton of Ferdinand. That impact shattered Trafton's windshield and peeled the roof back before it came off of the car, and the ATV wound up in a driveway on the highway's west side. Trafton's vehicle then wound up on a hillside along the west side of the road. Meanwhile, Chamberlain's truck then rolled onto its driver's side and slid northbound in the northbound lane. State police say it came to rest without rolling over any further. Evans and Trafton were both taken to Memorial Hospital. Evans succumbed to her injuries and was pronounced dead at the hospital by the Du Bois County coroner. Trafton is listed in stable condition after breaking 2 vertebrae. Chamberlain was extricated from his truck and was flown to St. Mary's Hospital in Evansville for treatment of a broken tibia. Now, state police say this crash is still under investigation. State Road 162 was closed for nearly 3.5 hours yesterday afternoon while the scene was being processed by investigators. The Du Bois County Sheriff's Department, Ferdinand Police Department, the Ferdinand and St. Anthony Fire Departments, Memorial Hospital EMS, and the Du Bois County Coroner's Office all assisted state police. The first sentencing in connection with a recent Du Bois County drug raid has now taken place. 35-year-old Jason Sheppers of Birdseye was sentenced to a total of 11 years in the Indiana Department of Corrections. The sentencing was handed down yesterday in Du Bois Superior Court. Now, Sheppers was facing a Class B felony for dealing in methamphetamine. He was one of 16 people arrested in the raid, known as Operation Big Brother. The raid took place the morning of June 5th and was coordinated by the Du Bois County Sheriff's Department. Sheppers entered a plea agreement with the state back on September 3rd. That plea agreement covers the drug dealing charge and a prior case that Sheppers was on probation for. It calls for Sheppers to serve 180 days at the Du Bois County Security Center for the probation case. He then will serve 10.5 years at the State Department of Corrections on the meth dealing charge. Now, the remaining 15 cases that are part of the raid are still pending, and those involved are still waiting to stand trial. Du Bois County Prosecutor Kevin Krause says he was pleased with the outcome in this case. He says the remaining 15 individuals will likely be convicted and receive significant prison sentences through the State Department of Corrections. Well, Du Bois County is now set to have a unified Catholic school system. This morning, Father Gary Kaiser of Precious Blood Catholic Church announced the creation of Holy Trinity Catholic School. The announcement took place in front of a standing room only crowd in the gymnasium at Kundeck Hall on the St. Joseph's campus. The new school system will combine St. Mary Catholic School in Ireland with Precious Blood and Holy Family Schools in Jasper. Catholic school students from all 11 parishes in Du Bois County will be able to attend Holy Trinity. Holy Trinity will use all 3 current campuses in the Jasper area, though corresponding grade levels and campuses have not yet been determined. Now, the plans for this transition have been in the works for 10 months. A listening session was held back in May to get more input from parents as the process went along. Kaiser says this decision was part of the strategic plan for the local Catholic schools that was laid out by the Jasper Deanery. Kaiser, who will serve as the first priest delegate, says though the united school system will be a great option for students, parents also stand to benefit.
I think, one of the things that I see for the parents also is that unity. In some cases, we have parents sending kids to both Precious Blood and Holy Family, and some even St. Mary's, Precious Blood, and Holy Family. So now it is really one united school. Allows them to have better, I think, communication is our goal, and connection to the whole system as well.
Evansville Catholic Diocese Superintendent of Schools Dr. Darrell Hagan also took part in this morning's announcement. Hagan says the idea being implemented in Du Bois County is one that other Catholic school systems across the diocese can look to.
We have 28 Catholic schools in the Diocese of Evansville, and we serve over 7,300 Catholic school students. So we do have pockets of areas where there are groups of parishes that may want to look at this model and say, you know what, we want to do this as well. And if it is the wish of the people, as it is here in Du Bois County, we will certainly be able to help them.
Others in attendance this morning included Fathers Ray Brenner and John Beglin. Principals Michelle Brandel of Precious Blood School and Sally Sternberg of Holy Family School also took part. The new Holy Trinity school system will be opening in time for the start of the 2015-2016 school year. The school's colors will be purple, white, and gold. Sports teams will compete under the nickname Saints. Now, there will be more news about Holy Trinity in the months ahead. The school mascot and the use of the campuses, among other items, will be announced at a special meeting for parents. That meeting is set for Wednesday, October 15th at 6:30 p.m. It will also be held in the St. Joseph's Parish Center. Habitat for Humanity of Du Bois County is preparing for another groundbreaking ceremony. The organization is set to break ground on another home project coming up next Saturday, October 4th at 8 a.m. The ceremony will take place in the 4,000 block of South County Road 170 East, which is just north of Brettsville. Now, this will be the 13th home to be built by Habitat here in Du Bois County. The home is for the Rita Bender-Schrader family. Next Saturday's events begin with a blessing and prayer, and that will then be followed by the ceremonial turning of the dirt. In a news release, Executive Director Melissa Baxter says this groundbreaking will be the first time in Du Bois County HFH history that 2 homes will be built in 1 year. She says the public is invited and encouraged to come out and learn more about the organization and its ongoing efforts. The Du Bois County chapter of Habitat for Humanity was founded back in 1997. As mentioned, 13 local families have been helped by the organization through the construction of simple and decent housing. Funding for the projects comes from individual and corporate donors as well as from the organization's Restore. Restore is the organization's retail business that sells new and gently used home items like furniture and decorations at discounted rates. The Restore opened in June of last year. For more information or to volunteer or donate, you can contact Melissa Baxter at 482-5995. A new event for NSWC Crane was held yesterday. The inaugural Invention and Technology Showcase was held at the Westgate Academy and Training Center throughout the day. The event was designed to unite inventors and community partners. Now, the goal of the showcase was to highlight innovation and the exchange of ideas between Crane and its network of partnerships. Indiana Lieutenant Governor Sue Ellspermann was featured as yesterday's keynote speaker. In her speech, Ellspermann touched on Crane's inventors, employees, and several state business partners. She also noted how Crane's innovation discovery events now serve as a national model for disclosure and identification of intellectual property, also known as IP, across the U.S. Department of Defense. Ellspermann says the work ethic and intellect at Crane combined to create a desire to solve tough problems for the military. She also says the innovation discovery events serve as a chance to put Crane's IP on display while pulling economic value from that work. Now, Crane's patent portfolio is part of the base's Technology Transfer, or T2 program. T2 seeks to license and collaborate with local individuals, companies, and academic institutions in order to transfer government-protected innovations for commercialization back to the government. Finally this evening, healthcare advocates and industry lobbyists are asking federal officials for speedy approval of Indiana's request for a Medicaid expansion. Leaders from the Indiana Hospital Association, the Indiana State Medical Association, and other groups said during a conference held at the State House earlier today that the expansion is critical to providing care for the state's working poor. Now, Republican Governor Mike Pence has proposed using the state's Healthy Indiana plan as a basis for expanding Medicaid coverage. The proposal would allow for modified health savings account plans for low-income residents. It would also allow them to buy improved coverage. If approved, the federal government would pick up the vast majority of the multi-billion-dollar expansion. The public comment period recently ended, and the proposal is under review by the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services. State Health Commissioner Dr. William Van Ness stopped in Jasper back in June to promote the HIP plan to area residents. All right, coming up after the break, your local forecast, sports with Kurt Guxell, and Inform with Tara Hope and Ed Ubalor. That's all up next here on the 18 WJTS News. Local people watching local people.